Greetings. Paradox Moxley, back with a vengeance. Been out for a little bit. Been quite sick lately. Also going through personal issues that I've kind of touched base on a little bit. Um, and if there's anything I've learned in my time of absence, is no matter how much you something, you can always something generic something. Anyways, Raw was last night. Survivor Series is this weekend. They will be in St. Louis, Missouri for the first time in 16 years. This night wasn't too bad. There were some really good high points. It's obvious that they're getting behind Luke Harper, which I think is fucking incredible. Kind of like the Bruiser Brody for a new age, and they've been wanting that. And they certainly get that with big ass Luke Harper. Really entertaining to watch. And he's really fucking brutal. And he's not afraid to do things that big guys don't normally do. Bray and Eric, I think they all developed their niches, and I think they all kind of learned, and I think it was a group effort on their behalf, and I think it's working out great for them. As Survivor Series style match, it's still going to be a elimination tag, but they've added the stipulation, of course, that if the Authority loses, they are no longer the Authority. Stephanie and Triple H will lose control. It's obvious people want that. What would that mean? People don't even think about that. People need to consider the possibilities of, I'd rather have Triple H and Stephanie as opposed to, Michael Cole reading off of a podium from a laptop that gets emails and makes like the sound a cell phone gets via text message. They have Sting in their back pocket, and who knows what they're planning to do. I know that Shane was involved in UFC and mixed martial arts. Um, they could always bring Shane in, Shane O'Mac. Why the fuck not? Come out, and basically every Raw starts like this now. If the Authority doesn't start the show, Cena starts the show. I don't think it's ever very interesting. SummerSlam and kind of ambushed Rollins. I think he opened the show with the whole "I'm not dead" thing, and it was kind of cool to get smashed into cinder blocks. I think that was an intro, but the show always ends with the Authority or Cena. So it was Harper over Ziggler, who became the new Intercontinental Champion, which to me, which is surprising as the Shield split. Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen. He hit the discus clothesline. I know that Rollins and the new Stooges kind of ambush Ziggler at the beginning of the match. But we've seen that, so many times, especially with guys like, Ziggler, and it doesn't really seem to, have effect on, top ranking baby faces. They can get their ass fucking handed to them and, they'll still come out on top somehow. Cena's got the Hulk Hogan factor. Tyson Kidd over Adam Rose is really great seeing Tyson on Raw or SmackDown very, very frequently. He beat Sheamus via countout either last week or the week before. It's really nice seeing Tyson Kidd on there in any capacity, even if the storyline was totally and completely about a fucking bunny. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I know that kids watch it, but it's ridiculous. It's not entertaining. The grumpy cat. We had the continuation of the Bray Wyatt and Dean Ambrose saga, which I kind of I was excited for when it began. I started having mixed feelings, and now I'm starting to get excited for it again, because I know the match is this weekend. I know the match is going to be great. And I still wish, because, we still got SmackDown coming up, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't read internet spoilers for episodes of SmackDown, even though I know they hit the internet, relatively soon, or what's going to happen. And something could change, because, they've already changed it to a handicap. Survivor Series. And I know they've added a couple different matches, which I need to catch up on. Ryback over Cesaro in a pretty good match. We had Rusev over Slater, which, you know, it was good to see Heath Slater on TV. And we all knew he was going to get his ass, which was a squash match, of course. He, you know, ended with the accolade. Then we had Show versus Sheamus, which ended in no contest when Mark Henry interfered. I don't think anybody was with him, but Mark Henry interfered because the Authority vowed to, you know, wipe out Team Cena and any, just destroy any shred of credibility that they have. And that's what they did with Ziggler. And they put Sheamus on the shelf with this whole angle, which I didn't care for. Say this was my bathroom break time. This match, the Brie and Nikki Bella, with Brie Bella dressed up like AJ Lee, the Miz Dow, Stardust and Goldust versus the Usos in the Matadors, which ended with Dark Matter. I did see the finish, and I always like watching Cody, but this was my bathroom break, and I really didn't give a shit about it, so I just took a shit. It was followed by the largest contract signing in the history of WWE, or so they claim, because nobody fucking signed anything. But basically, which is Seth Rollins, Kane, Henry, Rusev, Harper, and Cesaro. And Team Cena, which is Cena, Ziggler, Show, Ryback, and Rowan. Now this is the official teams. Rowan was the big twist, because they haven't really been doing anything with Rowan, and everybody just kind of, including me, just kind of felt like, he's just going to kind of fade out. He was doing like little weird things from week to week, like the thing with Renee Young's hair, and just kind of wandering out there, and it's not really clear what they're doing with him. But I hope that they have some direction, and I hope that there's a good payoff. One interesting thing is the Survivor Series is transpiring from St. Louis, Missouri, as I've said before, which is where Randy Orton's billed from. He's from somewhere else that's relatively close, but I know he's billed from St. Louis, so it's interesting to see, your hometown crowd with a guy who's kind of twining between heel and face right now. I mean, what are they going to do with that? And I think Orton will be involved somehow. I do think the Authority will lose, and I think the Authority will gain power again somehow. And they'll keep them in the storyline, but they'll use somebody else as in the forefront. They'll use somebody else to be the man in charge. Who that is, I have no idea. Some people think it's Steve Austin. There's been rumor after rumor that it's Steve Austin. And Steve Austin, Sting. I hope they choose somebody who can really carry the weight that Triple H and Sting. Even though I know people hate Triple H and Stephanie, and I hate a lot of the things that Triple H has done in his career. Can't blame them completely for the shoddy state that everything's in. I don't know who's making most of these decisions. Case in point, you had the Authority all standing in the ring together. You had Mark Henry standing next to Rusev. I mean, Mark Henry standing next to Rusev. I mean, wasn't they in a monster versus monster feud not so long ago, and had one really, really good match, which was on fucking Raw, but they had several brutal matches where they beat the fuck out of each other. They're just cool. They're just homies. I don't get that. So, tell me what you thought of Raw. I wouldn't really call this, I was going to do this as a prediction video, but I didn't really make very many predictions. But it feels nice to be back. Thank you for watching, those who watch. Comment, like, subscribe. This is Paradox Moxley signing out. I'll be doing another video here soon. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.